Good morning, everyone. In today's session, we're going to talk about competitive edge and how you can really reach it within the retail industry. My name is Tamir. I'm the Vice President of APAC and EMEA for Bright Data. And the real reason I actually joined the industry is that I really feel that web data is really what's driving everything today. It's what's driving our lives, it's what's driving the market, it's where everything is happening. And if you think of it today, where everything is really happening is on the web. If you really want to understand how the market is moving, where it's moving to, how it's doing, the right way to know it and to know it in real time is on the web. And I hope I'm going to convince you in that as we go into the detail in the coming few minutes. So let's just look at 60 seconds. This is not 60 minutes. This is not 60 hours. This is 60 seconds, 1 minute. And let's see what's happening in terms of how much revenue is being spent on an e-commerce in global. That's more than $1.6 million of revenue. But also, if you look at a lot of the other platforms here, the amount of activity, the amount of data that is happening in just mere 60 seconds is amazing. And what's even more amazing, that most of that data is really public data. It's not private data. It's data that we can tap into and can get into really, really interesting understanding about how the market is driving, where it's driving, what people are talking about, what people are doing, if we have a way to collect it. So tapping into that huge amount of information is really, really important. Not surprisingly, though, when we looked at our own customers here at Bright Data, we understood that this is something that they want to listen more and more to. In fact, over the last year, we've seen a 20% increase in the amount of data consumed by our retail customers. And as you could see in the details here, it goes into a lot of different usages, like understanding better the pricing strategy, more than 25% increase, better understanding of different products and offer reviews, more than 20% increase, and 15% increase in market research and brand protection data consumption. So why? Why do we see that happening, growing so significantly year over year? The real answer for that is that there's more than 2 billion people that are out there using the internet to buy. They're the digital marketplace or the digital consumers. And this is increasing year by year. So understanding what is happening, understanding the market and being able to make the right decisions is critical for a lot of the customers that we serve. And therefore, they just keep on consuming more and more data. Another interesting data point I want to share with you is a very recent survey we ran just last month together with Vance and Bourne, a market research company, where we asked people a little bit about their holiday shopping experience or planning and how it's going to change this year over last. In fact, 50% of the people said that they're going to do more shopping online, and they're going to continue and do that in this holiday season. But more interestingly, they said that because of some of the supply chain difficulties everybody is aware of, they will tend to buy earlier and not that late, not just last minute. In fact, we could see that 66% of the people in the US and about 50% in the UK said they're going to do it earlier because they're really worried about the delivery times of their holiday shopping. A lot of them reported they're using a lot of price comparison sites. That's probably not surprising, sorry. And most importantly, the key factors that they shared with us on what's driving their decisions to buy with one vendor or the other, it's really lying on three topics. 82% is all about price, 65% about availability, and 59% about the ability to deliver and deliver on time. So if one is able to really understand how they are doing, how they are positioned, both on price, then on availability, and finally on the ability to deliver, and they are able to optimize that versus the competition, we already know based on the survey, that this is what's going to make them a very successful vendor in this holiday season. Few words about us, about Bright Data. Bright Data is the leading web data platform to collect public data. We are serving today Fortune 500 companies, academic institutes, and a lot of small companies. They all rely on us in order to be able to collect web data in a scalable way, in an effective way, and in a flexible way to be able to make the right decisions, whether it's within a business decision, whether it's within research, monitoring, and so forth. Just to give you an idea of the amount of data that we process, over the last months, we processed more than 21,000 terabytes of data. That goes to serve thousands and thousands of customers, including many Fortune 500. In terms of our size, we are more than 300 employees strong, with offices here in Israel and in New York, and a global workforce in a lot of other countries. And today we have, in terms of revenue, more than $100 million of sales. We also have a very important initiative called the Bright Initiative, where we are helping leading universities in the world and a lot of other UN and other key organizations to use data for good and be able to extract web data and use it for better, for making the world a better place. Going back to retail and how you could really collect data in real time and why you want to collect data in real time, I want to share with you a specific example here, an example of just one product, a microwave oven, and how that oven's price has changed over a 24-hour window between three vendors, Amazon, Best Buy, and Sears. As we could see, Amazon changed their pricing 8 times during that time interval. Best Buy changed it twice, and Sears didn't change the price at all. Not surprisingly, if we look at the actual sales of this product, Amazon was able to achieve that, a much bigger market share of that specific product sales versus the other two competitors by being very dynamic on the product pricing. So this is just to give one example of, you really want to understand how the market is changing and how flexible it is. You really need to tap into pricing or whatever other indicator that you're interested in on a very much real-time basis. So let's be a little bit more specific. What are all the important data points that you could go out there and collect on the web and be smarter with? We started with talking a little bit about pricing and real-time pricing. That can help you really get to your right pricing strategy, but you can also get the understanding of how that differs, because the same product is likely to be priced differently across different markets, and it's really important where you are collecting the data from, what what website you're actually collecting it in terms of country location. The second parameter is really the inventory. If you want to understand whether different competitors have a specific product in stock now or not, and then being able to make your right business decisions based on it, the web data gives you that capability, because it's very, very easy to see where a specific product is available, where it's not at any given moment. Another important element that we see people collecting is the understanding of where their corporate website or different products that they promote, where they are located across Google or other search engines, as well as within key marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, and so forth. Having a good understanding of that, again, could give you a good insight into how you want to promote a specific product, or maybe do less promotion of it. Another element is trying to understand how fast a certain product is selling. And by monitoring flash sales progress across a few websites, you could really understand how that specific product is fast selling or slower selling within that market. Another very, very important element is product reviews and product descriptions. If you understand both the products that you promote as well as your competitors' products, are they getting good reviews? Is there a trend towards improvement in reviews or towards deterioration of reviews? That's very, very important feedback for you to understand on a specific product, whether you want to promote it more or less. And finally, social media is really where everything is happening. So you want to monitor and understand what's happening within the various social media channels, what people are saying. Is there a positive sentiment or a negative sentiment around a specific product or a specific brand, and use that for better decision. So as you look at all those examples and the collection of that data that keeps on changing on pretty much real-time basis, that gives you an idea of the amount of opportunity that is out there and how it can really get you to have that competitive edge when you're competing in this global retail market. Let's look at one of our customers, Advantage Solutions. They're an 8,000 employees organization based in California, US. And what they do is they provide global retail companies with a lot of insights by collecting more than 3 million web pages every day. And as you could see here, they understand that with the use of this data, they could really help their customers understand what could be hurting them, what could be really important for them to know, and get into the right decisions that would set them apart from their competitors. Obviously, a lot of those retailers might be doing some or all of this data collection in-house, and some would be relying on Advantage Solution or similar companies to do part of it for them. So what are the 5 data-driven points I hope you could take from this short session? First is that the internet is really where everything happens. It's where the reality is. So you want to rely on having the right data in order to make the right decisions. And for that, you need to be in the internet and do web data collection. It's no longer a choice. It's a must-have to stay ahead of your competition. Then you want to make sure that you are data creative, because as I tried to illustrate, there's a lot of places and there's a lot of data that you can collect. So it's all about making sure you have the right data that is really going to set you apart, going to give you that competitive understanding, and having access to that data in a reliable way that allow you to grow further and further. Then you want to make sure that you have the right methodology and the right technology to go out and collect that data. Going out there and collecting mass scale from the web, it's actually a very complex, a very messy task. So you want to make sure that you have an effortless web platform that's going to allow you to do that and to have that information flowing in a reliable way into your decisioning systems. And finally, it's not only about data, it's actually a lot about having the data and having it in real time, but also having in place a good solution to take that data and translate it into decisioning in minutes or seconds, whether it's on pricing, assortment, or anything else. Now that we understand what we want to do, how can one get started? Well, actually, it's not that complex. You can start really by, going very small at it, get a small set of data, get it flowing into your system, testing it and verifying it. Then you can go bigger and expand what you're where you're collecting. And then finally, you could go and automate it. So with these 3 steps, it's actually easy to start and scale, and you don't have to worry about this being too complex of a project. Now, here's my email, here's my LinkedIn. I'd love to hear from you if you have any more questions. Thank you very much.